Hello, all football fans. Welcome back to Football Xstream. We've been away from your screens for a while, and now we got two out of the three musketeers here. DJ is not with us, but he will be back on our future episodes. So, Nene, welcome back. We're doing transfer roundup and rumors around the Premier League. How you been, man?
I'm good, man. Good to be back.
Yeah.
As you said, lots of stuff happening in the Premier League. Seems like the Premier League teams are extremely busy in this transfer window. So, yeah, interesting times ahead.
Definitely interesting times ahead. We just did a video on Jadon Sancho and how Man United is making big moves to try and move the needle in the Premiership hunt. So now Man City is trying to stamp the authority now, seeing what Man United's done. So they're looking at one of the golden eggs of the Premier League, the favorite son in the Premier League, probably the people might say, Harry Kane. So Man City is swooping in, and £160 million bid for Harry Kane from Tottenham Hotspur. What's your take on this deal? Is it going to happen? Well, what's the history surrounding this deal?
It looks like there's a possibility that it would happen. It also looks like, it's also Harry Kane's preferred destination to go to Spurs, to Man City.
Man City. Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, that fee of 160 million seems like it's out of Man City's ability at this moment. Reach. So, they might need to sell some players, but I don't think that's the right fee that's being spoken, that's actually being discussed between the two teams. I think it's just the media and agents and all that just getting hype around it, because why would he be worth 160 million? There's no Premier League medal, there's no Champions League medal, there's no Europa League medal. So how does a player, be valued at like 160 million at his age, which most players have achieved quite a lot. So if he's worth 160 million without winning anything in his life, then there's obviously something wrong with that. So
Well, so there's plenty talk. Well, I don't know if any of this talk is correct. It could be speculation that there could be things like throwing in a couple players in the deal, having other players being involved in the transfer. There's talk of Sterling or Jesus or Bernardo, that kind of thing. So maybe if that was to happen, maybe that 160 goes down to about a 90. If, let's say, you throw in, because Sterling, if you threw Raheem Sterling into that deal, and then that means Spurs get Sterling coming back the other way, there's no way that 160 stays. Then it probably goes down to about an 80 million kind of deal, or even less than that if they got Raheem Sterling going the other way. Well, what's your take?
Okay, let me deviate, right? Now let me ask you a question in response to your question.
Okay.
Raheem Sterling, right? England international, Premier League medals.
Yeah.
Champions League experience, even went to the final.
Yeah.
Why? So then why is Harry Kane worth 160 and then Raheem Sterling to be part of the transaction?
The transaction.
In terms of medals, achievements, even goals, because Raheem Sterling also has a lot of goals. So why would Harry Kane be? And also in terms of age, I think they're more or less the same age. So, and he played for Liverpool, Raheem Sterling, a big team, before he went to Man City. So why is Harry Kane worth 160 million? Why?
Well, that's Richard Levy saying, Man City, no, I don't want to sell my player. First of all, the way I see it is Tottenham Hotspur trying their hardest to keep Kane, when there were reports saying that at the end of the previous season, when Liverpool won the league, that Kane went up to Richard Levy and said, it's the last season, next season I want to bounce. Or there was some sort of conversation and Richard Levy said, okay, one more season.
Daniel Levy.
Oh, Daniel Levy, sorry, not Richard Levy. Richard Levy is a South African cricket player, actually. Daniel Levy, sorry. Daniel Levy says, okay, one more season. The season ends. Ken says, okay, let's our handshake deal. And then Daniel Levy says, nope, no dice. And then decide Man City comes in with a £100 million bid, which is way less than 160. And then Daniel Levy says, no, 160 is my number. Take it or leave it. So this is just one side of this is just typical when one team doesn't want the deal to happen and then they set as high a number as possible. Because obviously no one was going to say, sell Harry Kane for 160. He is a great player because even though, as you said, no Premier League medal, no Champions League medal, when the other dudes and the other teams, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, they've got Premier League medals, they've got Champions League medals. But you can see that Harry Kane is the missing piece to fit into the Man City puzzle. If you looked at Man City as a whole squad, what is the one thing that they're missing? That's the number 9 striker. And who's the best number 9?
Yeah, because Sergio's gone.
Yeah, Sergio Aguero's gone. And Gabriel Jesus is not good enough. He has not been good enough since he came. He probably had the best 2-month spell at the beginning of his career at Man City where he looked like he was going to be challenging Aguero. And then something happened. I think he got injured or something in that first 2 months of his career at Man City. And then that was it. And then after that, Sergio Aguero showed everyone exactly who he is. And so the only position missing, and guys don't need to fool themselves. Man City won the league without a striker, but that's not by design. It was just simply Pep saying, I don't have a striker good enough, but the rest of my squad is good enough. I am going to go win the league with what I have. And he had us in abundance. But the missing piece at Man City is a striker. When you are on the opposite side and Man City comes to you and says, I want your striker, you already know it's the same thing that happens with Arsenal when they come calling, same thing that happens with Man City. Even here in South Africa, when Kaizer Chiefs says they want a player, what happens? Everyone jacks up the price. So when Man City comes saying, we want your centre forward, everyone knows Man City needs a centre forward. They're perfect in every other department. The centre forward is what's missing. You come calling, you want my centre forward, you better be willing to pay the cost to do business. And so that's the way I see it. And also Daniel Levy doesn't want to let go of Kane. After all the promises and so forth, he doesn't want to let go of him. So he's trying to jack up the price as much as possible to make the deal not happen, to keep his player. That's what I think. But I don't think it's because Kane is worth 160 million. It's just that the circumstance allows Levy to increase the price. And that's just the market that they're in at the moment. What's your take?
Yeah.
But
but what you just said in terms of that gentleman's agreement that took place where Daniel Levy asked for more time, which maybe would have been 1 season. It just reminds me of Alex Ferguson when he begged Cristiano Ronaldo to stay 1 more season, and then they won everything.
They won.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won, and then he fulfilled that agreement by saying, "Okay, you've given me that, so it's time to go."
Yeah.
Now, this guy, if he doesn't fulfill that gentleman's agreement, then he's gonna force Harry Kane to submit a transfer request, and when that happens, he doesn't have a choice but to sell, and it will no longer be up to him to determine the price. So yeah, and obviously that wouldn't be a situation that he would want, where he'd want to surrender power. But I think around about 130 million, 125, I think he should settle on that figure. But it's highly unlikely that it will go through with the 160 on the table.
Yeah. Let's see what happens, because like I said, but I mean, they'd probably not be wise to let this deal not happen. This guy is probably the most sought after striker in the Premier League. and it's post-pandemic. People are still talking about holes in the budget and no money in the coffers and everything like that. Take the money, Tottenham Hotspurs. Take the money, guys. Revamp your squad. You're not in a position to win the league. You're not in the position to be in the top three. But you get this
Yeah.
money. Let's say even if it was the original. Yeah, Kara?
Yeah. No, the other thing is, I mean, let's just hypothetically say he stays at Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not exactly, you know, bidding for players that show that they are trying to win the league or whatever. So if he does stay, then what's the plan? Is it, let's see where our luck takes us, how far we can go,
Yeah.
or is it be serious? We want to win the league, like what Chelsea is doing. So for me, this guy, Danny Levy, he's fooling the whole world by saying he doesn't want to let Harry Kane go. As you said, it's COVID. He wants the money. He has to pretend as if he doesn't want to let him go because
Yeah.
that's business. If he says, yes, I'm ready, whoever wants him can take him, then
Yeah.
it's almost like he's giving up the power. So,
Yeah.
and it means he doesn't have any sentimental value to Harry Kane. So
Yeah.
he's going to milk it for as much as he can, and pretend to the world that, you know what, I don't want him to go. I want him to stay. Stay for what? To do
Yeah.
what?
To do
You know,
what? To come
there's no
second all
players
the
there.
time.
Yeah, yeah. If you look at Man United spending 75 million plus last season when they brought in Bruno Fernandes, who you're not doing none of that. So you want this guy to stay where
Yeah.
exactly?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they could finish 11th next season because they're already sliding anyway. So yeah, the writing is on the wall. Um, he will definitely go to City. It's just the price that needs to be agreed. But once the player steps in and says, I want to leave, then Levy will have to accept whatever's on the table.
Yeah. I think there's
Yeah.
another way to look at it also. I think, let's say, if you are looking at from the point of view of the other Premier League teams, the contenders, the Liverpool, the Chelsea, the Man United, even Arsenal are probably thinking, hey, I don't want this deal with Man City and Harry Kane to happen. The juggernaut is just going to get stronger and be that much harder to beat with the best striker in the league in that team. They already have a strong squad, and if Harry Kane goes in there, that's just another piece of the puzzle. So I'm thinking other teams in the league are thinking, let's not let this, or I hope this deal doesn't happen. They're probably going to Richard Levy, dude, come on, for the integrity of the league. I mean, we're just going to be giving it up. It's like back when Barcelona was unbeatable and they were winning trophy after trophy after trophy because every season another player goes to Barcelona, another player goes to Barcelona, and then it's just another league trophy, another league trophy. You see, so maybe other teams are thinking, I'm hoping this deal doesn't happen, that kind of thing. And Richard Levy is also, Daniel Levy is probably also thinking, hey, I don't want to sell my player because then where I want to sell him and I'm just helping a rival just to win the trophy, winning the league trophy. So it's probably a little bit of that also going on.
Yeah, it is possible that it could be a little bit of that, but United has been going on a shopping spree ever since Solskjaer came to United. I mean, they've been spending big money like every transfer window.
Yeah.
So, but the only difference with them is that they're not winning anything.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like no one gives a damn anyway. Whereas
Yeah.
Man City, they're splashing and they're winning. So it's like, hey, this is like a mafia that's growing here. But
Yeah.
but it's okay. The thing is, when Man City put that bid of 100 million on the table, I think it was a message to whoever else that wanted to try and join the race
Yeah.
to just back off. Because, I mean, they could have put a bid of 50 or 60, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
why did they go for the Magnificent? So they went for the Magnificent, Obviously, I think they knew it would get rejected, but it's fine. But what it did is that it already set the benchmark for the player, the price tag. So if Chelsea wants to come in, they have to put like 120 or 130. They can't go in and say, okay, we're gonna offer 105 or whatever. So and if Man United wants to take a chance, they can't, because Man City has just put 100 million on the table and just told everyone else back off. You see, because if the other teams are still in the race, then it's going to keep pushing the price up. That's why they just put the 100 million and now they're going to wait. Wait for the player to make a noise, and then you can go back to the drawing board and say, okay, 120 or 130. Okay, cool. Everyone's happy.
No, that's in a way you can say a smart business sense and a way of warding off the competition. And at the same time, it's also in a way gives Daniel Levy the power, because he can feel free to say nope and tell them go back to the drawing board and then come back with a bigger offer. Because in a way you could say they probably knew that Spurs will say no, and Spurs was like, I ain't gonna say yes to the first offer you give me, because I know you've got more money in the bank. So it's a bit of a chess game, but I can see that point of telling everyone else to back off, because we know Roman Abramovich has got deep pockets, and if he really wanted Harry Kane at Spurs, this would probably be a bidding war right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they look like they've got their eyes set on other players. So but again, that 100 million just removed any competition. But as I said, at the moment it's still Man City and Spurs. The player is still quiet. I think when he says I want to join Man City, then Levy is going to be under pressure now to try and find the right price. Because if the player said, I want to leave, here's a transfer request, you can't force him to stay. No,
that's cool. I hear you there. I hear you. So let's move on forward. We did just dabble on Roman Abramovich and Chelsea and their dealings. So, I mean, Chelsea had a big bid for Erling Haaland rejected. So here's another one where first bid is rejected. But here's a player, my personal opinion, that I don't think will leave his team, Borussia Dortmund, is Erling Haaland. But Chelsea seem like they want this guy to be in their squad. What else? What can you touch up on this one? Chelsea.
This one, Haaland. It's another big one. The fee is around about 130 million pounds. Yeah, that's why there's no ways Chelsea can go after Harry Kane. I think they've got their eyes set on Haaland, and it's the same situation as you said, where Levy says, I don't want to sell, but if you're pushing me, this is my price. It's the same thing with Dortmund. They don't want to sell because they've just sold Sancho, and they've just said, okay, this is the price. You can take it or leave it, type of thing. So yeah, but Dortmund, I don't know how much power they've got, because as you said, Abramovich's pockets are very deep. So yeah, no, I don't think there's a fee in the world that would be too much for him if he wants the player. The team has just won the Champions League. So if the coach says, I want this guy, he'll deliver the guy.
Yeah. That's what I think. But I think there's a little bit more to that. I think there's too many other teams in the bidding here that do have the power to even fight with Roman for Erling Haaland. I mean, even though PSG has just signed all these guys that are free agents, PSG hasn't spent any money. They are also in the running for Erling Haaland. There's Real Madrid, there's Barcelona. So this is still going to be a bidding war for this guy. And who knows? I mean, Bayern Munich could just easily come in there out of nowhere and also just say, hey, listen, you got unfinished business here in Germany. You haven't won the league here. come to the big fish. How does Bayern Munich keep winning? They keep going to Borussia Dortmund and taking players. So one guy has gone already to England. If Dortmund does let go of this one, there's still any other place that he could go. So Roman Abramovich mustn't think that he's the only one, unless he pulls a Man City move and just goes, hey, boom, up his figure and tells everyone else to back off as well. But myself personally, I don't think Haaland is leaving. I think Chelsea will just have to go look elsewhere for their next big signing. What's your take?
You're right. It's highly unlikely that he'll move, but it depends on what he wants. If he's still happy at Dortmund, I don't think it matters what bids are made. But if he's looking at Sancho and saying, "Ish, now the team has one less quality player. Why would I stay? What are the chances of us winning the Bundesliga?" So, but to answer your question in terms of PSG, Madrid, the Premier League is very attractive at this current point in time. I mean, if Man United is in talks with Madrid over a player, that tells you something. Usually it's Madrid that's coming to the Premier League and taking players like Hazard and all that.
Yeah.
So that tells you that there's a slight shift that's taking place. The other leagues, the Spanish league, Barcelona and Madrid, they just need to rebuild their squad. So in terms of instant success, it's not an attractive place for some of the players. PSG might be because they're more coming together and they've fallen short twice already in the Champions League. So they think that this season should be the season. So that's a competitor for Chelsea to get Haaland. Apart from that, I think there's no other people. There's no other teams that can put something solid on the table. If Barcelona comes in, I mean, their team is not exactly world class at this point, where he's just going to be the missing piece and then they win everything. But if you look at Chelsea, a team that's already won the Champions League, and this season they're going to try and win the Premier League. This guy could be the missing piece. He could come in. So yeah, it's all those factors that play. Liverpool as well, if they decide to splash the cash, he could also come into the Liverpool squad and make a difference. So honestly, at this point, the Premier League, mainly because there's more options there, whereas in Spain it's just Barca or Madrid and that's it, and then it's PSG or Bayern Munich. The Premier League offers you, a variety. You've got Man City, you've got Man United, you've got Chelsea, you've got Liverpool. Those four teams are attractive to any player. So, and the ambition and everything. So, yeah, I think there is a possibility that it could be done, but as you said, it would be for a ridiculous amount.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And you did touch on Liverpool. And the funny thing is, Liverpool have probably had the quietest of all the big teams in terms of just headline names, because almost all the other teams have got headline names on their radar. But I mean, I know that there has been small rumblings about Kylian Mbappe maybe signing a pre-contract in January, that kind of thing. And it's probably either going to be Real Madrid or Liverpool, but I'm not sure how true those rumors are. So if we look at it, okay, Jadon Sancho, big name in Germany, has confirmed the move to England. Rafael Varane, big name defender in Spain, looks like he's coming into the Premier League. Then there's Erling Haaland, and then Kylian Mbappe is probably the last big name. If that happens and Liverpool somehow, because it doesn't look like Mbappe wants to stay in PSG. His contract ends at the end of the following season. He is free to sign a contract with whoever he wants in January. And most people are saying it's Real Madrid, but trust me, guys, Real Madrid is in turmoil at the moment. No one wants to go there and play savior right now. Because when the Galacticos started breaking up in 2003 and the guys went there, were going in there, they were just guys earning fat salaries, not winning anything. So I don't think Mbappe is going to go to Real Madrid simply because from outside looking in, it looks like Real Madrid is having issues there in terms of political. Look, Ramos is gone. Varane looks like he's about to leave. No Real Madrid players in the Spanish national team. So Kylian Mbappe, I don't think he'll go to Real Madrid. His eyes might end up looking into the Premier League. Looks like Liverpool are probably setting up a bid for him for a pre-contract in January. I don't know. But it looks like that's the only thing Liverpool seems to be doing these days.
Yep. That will be a good one because if you look at it, if your Chelsea get your Haaland, Kane goes to City, I mean, all those players are going to have very, very big wages.
Yeah.
So there's no ways they're going to be able to add Mbappe on as well. Next season.
Yeah.
So that leaves Liverpool as the team that is still has space in their wages to take on Mbappe because the transfer fee won't be as high. Obviously, if he's signing, well, there'd be no fee. It's just going to be the signing on fee, which won't be so bad. You just have to worry about the wages. So that'll be a good one. But there will be competition from the other teams who want to sell players and make space. But Liverpool seems like a good prospect. But there's also Tielemans from Leicester that you guys have your eyes set on. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Tielemans, I don't know. They're trying to make him a replacement for Wijnaldum. Leicester, again, it's the same thing as Dortmund, letting go of two good players. Leicester lets go of Tielemans, then definitely the James Maddison deal is not going to happen. Leicester lets go of James Maddison, then definitely the Tielemans deal is not going to happen. So I'm not sure. Maybe it depends. Is the Tielemans deal looks like more set to happen? Is that why maybe the Leicester, the deal with James Maddison and Arsenal is not happening at the moment? Because all these other things are happening. Probably the guys at Leicester are like, we're only going to let go of one of these guys. So which one looks better? Then you either play the numbers in terms of who goes for more, or which of the players do you think is more useful to your squad moving forward? So the Tielemans deal, even for me as a Liverpool fan, I don't think the Tielemans deal is going to move the needle for us much. Again, guys who play for these second-tier teams, the teams that are underneath the top, you need to be bringing the guy who's cream of the crop in your team, and you must be perfect in all other areas. That's why a player like, what's his name? This kid, man, at Man City, now who's changed his hair, Phil Foden. That's why Phil Foden looks so good right now. That's why he looks so good, because he's got world-class players all around him. He comes in as a 20-year-old and he just does his role. He just needs to figure out in the middle of the park, get the ball and pass it to Kevin De Bruyne or spray it out wide to the fullbacks. And then he starts looking good. And then his confidence builds up. Now, if you're going to bring in a Tielemans into a Liverpool squad where the midfield now is, I don't know what's happening with Liverpool. Because first of all, their players are all coming from injuries. We just lost the Premier League title because we did not have a full squad most of the season. And so now you bring in a guy from a team that chokes at the end of every season. 2 years running, Leicester just falls at the end of the season, in the back end of the season. And now you're going to bring one of their better players from that team and say you're going to replace Ronaldo, who played 35 games a season. No, I don't think Tielemans is the right player. Because if you bring him in, you've got Shaqiri, you've got Keita, all these players that are the same. You need the one player who's going to move the needle and be the head and shoulders guy, who's head and shoulders above the rest, who's going to bring all the other guys to his level. And I don't think Tielemans is that guy. The guys need to go back and look. So that's why I was talking about Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, if we get Kylian Mbappe, fine. We don't need Tielemans. I don't think we need to be buffering up the midfield so much. Well, with that guy. If you're going to be buying a midfielder, buy world-class, a top 5 midfielder in the world right now. Not a guy who's playing for second-tier team in the Premier League. who's going to struggle at a big name club like they always do. So yeah, Tielemans, I don't think will move the needle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in wrapping up, Henderson, is he signing or is he not signing?
Liverpool. Here's the thing about the Jordan Henderson deal. It's the Wijnaldum deal all over again. As soon as, and this used to happen, but you see, here's one thing I know about Chelsea. When a player becomes a legend at the club, they almost automatically, 1 year extension, whatever salary he wants, he gets it. Now, your league winning captain, your captain who won you the Champions League and won you the Club World Cup, you guys are busy arguing over rands and cents or pounds and cents. Give him whatever money he wants and secure your leader, and you secure the rest of the club and go find a big name player to put in there. Because like it or not, Henderson is what makes the midfield go. Henderson is what makes the whole team go in terms of emotion and just leadership and all those soft emotional things that people like to gloss over. Henderson is that. He is literally become like the second coming of Steven Gerrard when it comes to leading the team and being the guy that everyone turns to. Exactly how they used to look at Steven Gerrard is what's happening with Henderson over the last 2 years or so. And now they are just coming to argue over little cents on the contract. Give him whatever money he wants and let the deal go through. That's how we lost Wijnaldum. That's how Liverpool lost Wijnaldum. They wouldn't pay him what he wanted simply because he's already approaching 30 or past 30. Now they're looking at Henderson and they're like, no, we want to pay you X. Dude, I won Champions League and the Premier League and the Club World Cup since my last contract. I am not that player anymore. Pay me what you owe me. And he's got every right to do that. And just give him the money that he needs. He's going to be the guy who's leading this team to the next level. So if you ever thought you can win the league, there's no way Liverpool wins the league again if that guy is not the captain at the beginning of the season or if he doesn't sign the contract that he wants. Because then this contract issue will be the problem at Liverpool for the rest of the season, and then it's going to distract everyone else. So they must just give him what he wants. Let him sign on the dotted line, a 2, 3, 4 year extension, or however many years you want to give him. Give him the money that he wants. Move on. Stop being so frugal with the money. Sign him. We lost Wijnaldum because they were being frugal with money. Now there's a hole in the midfield. Thiago hasn't fully settled in. I've roasted Thiago more than enough times on the show. Let's see. Let Henderson sign whatever contract he wants so that we can solidify that midfield and make Liverpool attractive for the big name signings.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so hopefully he stays. Yeah.
Definitely. So football fans?
Yeah, hopefully he signed. Yeah.
Yeah. No, true. I want him to sign. I want him to sign and stay on. So they mustn't play games with players. That's exactly how Wijnaldum has left. So many players leave clubs because of this when you're trying to play the waiting game with them. That's how even Varane is going to end up leaving Madrid because they probably didn't want to pay him the salary that he wants. He's decided he's had enough. And Man United is going to profit from that and saying, okay, how much you want to get paid then? We'll pay you. Come here. And then boom, the guys will be gone out from under you. So that's the thing. But football fans, that's a wrap from us. Football Xstream, the return. Yeah. It's good to be back. It's really good to be back, Nene.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. And you back as a married man. So yeah, congrats to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's partly the reason why we were off air for a while. I was getting my wedding plans going. So yeah, we'll be a month. We'll be married 1 month down by the time the show is. On the 26th is our 1 month anniversary. So yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Man, it was good. I tell the guys to check out the pictures on the socials, but this guy doesn't really
The
He
only
doesn't
social,
post anything.
the only
No
socials,
social.
the only socials I believe in is Football Xstream on YouTube. That's it. That's the only socials you're gonna find me on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So fans,
I know.
that's one of our installments of our return transfer league transfer roundup. You'll see our other episode on the transfers, Man United transfers, Jadon Sancho, and so forth. And yeah, we are back. Next time you see our full episode, we'll have our third horseman, Ubonga, with us again. And again, guys, check out the Nene show. Nene will cover the news of the day and other hot topics coming up. My podcast is also going to be coming up soon. So Football Xstream is going to be branching out with more content. So this season is going to be bigger and better than ever. New logo, new conversations, new ideas. It's coming all your way. The show that brings you all things football. Any parting words from you, Nene?
No, man, you've said it all. The Nene show is gonna continue. Yeah. I also just disappeared for a while because of this gentleman, including me as part of his groomsman and also the best man. But yeah, we're back full swing. We're back with the bang, and yeah, this season is going to be epic. So yeah,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, subscribe, and yeah, we're here.
Definitely. So football fans, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for another show. Subscribe to our channel so that you'll never miss any updates, and like our videos. Comment on the section below. We want to hear what you're thinking. We're going to be talking about the start of the season. So 14th of August, if I'm right, is the start of the season. Is that the Friday? The 14th or the 15th of August?
13th,
13th, yeah, the Friday, yes. 13th of August, the Premier League starts again.
Arsenal first.
Yeah, Arsenal versus Brentford, the new boys. So we will talk about that in our next episodes. So stay tuned, football fans. Thank you. It's been awesome. It's a wrap. Ciao for now.
Bye.